Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. This time we're tackling a pretty cool topic, something I think a lot of us struggle with,
Yeah.
and that's body positivity and fitness. We're diving into this awesome article from Genetic Nutrition. It's called Embracing Your Path: The Influence of Body Positivity in Fitness.
Oh, I like that title.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because it goes beyond just, that basic love your body message.
Yeah.
And it gets into this whole shift that's happening in the fitness world, like moving away from just how you look and really celebrating what your body can actually do.
Yeah, for sure. That focus on appearance, that's been such a dominant force in fitness for so long.
Totally.
And I think this whole body positivity movement is like a breath of fresh air. It's really challenging that whole idea of an ideal body.
Hmm.
And saying, wait a minute, who says there's only one right way to look and feel fit?
Yeah, it's like we've been sold this image of what a fit body should look like,
Yeah.
and it's usually totally unrealistic.
Totally.
And it's easy to fall into that trap of comparing yourself to those picture-perfect bodies we see everywhere, in the media and advertising.
Oh, absolutely. Like I've definitely been there thinking, if I could just have those abs or those arms or whatever, then I'd be happy.
Totally. But this article really challenges that, doesn't it?
It does. It highlights how diverse bodies are and how each body has its own unique strengths and capabilities.
Right, it's like celebrating the diversity of the human form.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that there's beauty and strength in all those different forms, not just the ones we're told are ideal.
So how do we actually apply this body positivity stuff to our workouts? Like, it's a nice idea, but how do we make it practical?
Yeah, that's the key, right? Well, the article has some really practical tips, and one that resonated with me was prioritizing health over appearance.
Oh, I like that. It's easy to say, but what does that actually look like?
One way to think about it is shifting your mindset from punishment to self-care. Instead of forcing yourself to do a workout you hate just because you think you should, to burn calories or whatever,
Yeah.
try finding activities you genuinely enjoy. It could be dancing, hiking, swimming, rock climbing,
Yeah.
anything that gets you moving and feels good.
Oh, I love that. So it's not about punishing your body for not looking a certain way. It's about honoring what your body needs.
Exactly. It's about moving in a way that feels good and energizing, not draining or punishing.
So it's like respecting your body for what it is, right? Not trying to force it into some mold.
Absolutely. And speaking of molds, the article also talked about challenging those unrealistic beauty standards we see everywhere, especially in the fitness industry.
Ugh, yes. Those images are everywhere, aren't they? It's like we can't escape them.
It's true. And it's not just about ignoring those images.
Yeah.
It's about actively seeking out and supporting brands and influencers who are promoting inclusivity and celebrating diverse bodies and abilities.
Yeah. I mean, there are some brands out there that are really doing amazing things to challenge the status quo.
There are. Have you heard of the Adaptive Training Academy?
No, tell me about it.
Well, they provide specialized training and resources for fitness professionals working with people with disabilities.
Oh, wow.
And they're doing amazing work to make fitness more accessible, but also to change the perception of what a fit body looks like.
I love that. They're really pushing the boundaries of inclusivity, aren't they?
Yeah, they're showing that fitness is for everybody, regardless of ability or appearance.
And that ties in with this idea of creating a more supportive fitness environment, which I think is so important.
It is, and I think it starts with surrounding ourselves with people who lift us up and celebrate our individuality.
Totally. It's about finding your tribe, those people who make you feel good about yourself, just as you are.
Exactly. Because we all need that support, especially when we're trying to break free from those negative self-talk patterns.
Ooh, yeah, that's a tough one. Negative self-talk, it's like a constant battle, isn't it?
It can be. It's
Yeah.
so easy to get caught up in those negative thoughts, especially about our bodies.
Right? Like, I'm not good enough, or I don't look like them, or I'll never be able to do that.
Exactly. And it's important to learn how to challenge those thoughts and replace them with more positive and affirming ones.
Oh, yeah. Easier said than done, though, right? Any tips for dealing with that inner critic?
Well, one thing that can be helpful is to shift your focus from what your body looks like to what it can do.
Okay.
So instead of fixating on those perceived flaws,
Yeah.
try to appreciate all the amazing things your body allows you to do. Like maybe you can run a 5K or lift your kids up or dance the night away.
Yeah. Instead of focusing on those things I don't like about my body, I should be celebrating the fact that I can do all those things.
Exactly. It's about appreciating your body for what it can do, not for how it measures up to some arbitrary standard. So yeah, it's a real mind shift.
Okay, so we're starting to see how shifting to a body positive mindset can impact our workouts and our overall relationship with fitness.
Yeah, it's like laying the foundation for a healthier and more sustainable approach to movement.
But the article also talked about mindful movement, which honestly sounds a little vague to me. What does that actually look like?
It's about paying attention to your body's signals during exercise and choosing movements that feel good, both physically and mentally.
Hmm. So, less about following a rigid workout plan and more about tuning into what your body needs in that moment.
Exactly. It's about finding that sweet spot where you're challenging yourself, but also respecting your body's limits.
Okay, so it's like a balancing act between pushing yourself and honoring your body's needs.
Yeah, exactly. It's about finding that balance and listening to what your body is telling you.
This is all so eye-opening. But besides feeling good, are there any tangible benefits to embracing body positivity in fitness?
Oh, absolutely. There are tons of benefits.
Like what?
Well, the article highlights a whole bunch of benefits, and they kind of all point back to that mental shift we were talking about. Like,
Hmm.
one of the big ones is improved mental well-being.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, if you're constantly battling against your own body, it's got to be tough to feel good about yourself.
Exactly. And there's actually some research that shows that when people focus on how exercise makes them feel, like stronger, more energized, more capable,
Yeah.
they actually end up working out more consistently than people who are just focused on weight loss or how they look.
Oh, that's interesting. So it's like finding that intrinsic motivation, that drive that comes from within rather than from some external pressure.
Right. And that leads to more sustainable habits. When you're motivated by enjoyment and self-care rather than guilt or pressure, you're way more likely to stick with a fitness routine over the long haul.
Makes sense. It's like if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life, right?
Exactly. So it's about finding those activities that bring you joy,
Yeah.
that make you feel good in your body,
Mhm.
and making them a part of your life in a way that feels sustainable and, well, fun.
Yeah, I love that. And the article also talked about the importance of creating a more inclusive fitness environment, which I think is so important.
Absolutely. It's about making sure everyone feels welcomed and valued in fitness spaces, regardless of their size, shape, or ability.
Yeah, because honestly, for a lot of people, the gym can be a really intimidating place.
Oh, yeah, totally. But imagine if fitness environments were places where everyone felt comfortable and accepted for who they are, where the focus was on celebrating what our bodies can do rather than fitting into some narrow ideal.
Oh, that would be amazing. It
Yeah.
would totally change the game, wouldn't it? But like realistically, how do we get there?
Well, I think it starts with each of us, challenging those unrealistic beauty standards and embracing a more inclusive mindset. It's about supporting those brands and influencers who are promoting diversity and body positivity and speaking up against fat phobia and discrimination in fitness spaces.
So it's not just about changing our own attitudes, it's about advocating for systemic change as well.
Exactly. Body positivity is both a personal journey and a collective movement. It's about working together to create a world where everyone feels empowered to move their bodies with joy and confidence, regardless of their size, shape, or ability.
I love that. It's such a powerful message. But, embracing body positivity can be tough. I mean, there are days when those negative thoughts creep in, and it can be hard to silence that inner critic.
Oh, for sure. It's a journey, not a destination.
Uh,
Right. It's okay to have good days and bad days. I think the key is to just be patient with yourself and to practice self-compassion.
right. Easier said than done, though.
I know it's true. But remember, you're not alone in this. There's a whole community of people out there who are on this same journey with you.
That's good to remember. Okay, so what are some practical things we can do when we're like really struggling to embrace body positivity?
One thing that I find helpful is to focus on your accomplishments, both big and small.
Uh-huh.
So instead of dwelling on your perceived flaws, celebrate all the amazing things your body allows you to do.
So, like, instead of beating myself up for not having a six pack, I should be proud of myself for finishing that tough workout or running that 5K.
Yes, exactly. It's about shifting your focus from what you don't like about your body to what you appreciate about it.
Right. I like that. What else?
Another thing that can be really helpful is to surround yourself with positive influences.
Mm.
Follow body positive influencers on social media, read books and articles about self-acceptance, connect with friends and family members who support your journey.
It's like creating a little bubble of positivity around yourself to protect you from all the negativity that's out there.
Exactly. And it can make a huge difference. And, don't be afraid to seek professional help if you need it.
Oh, yeah, that's important.
Therapists who specialize in body image and self-esteem can provide valuable support and guidance.
It's true. There's no shame in reaching out for help. So, we've talked a lot about the benefits of body positivity and some practical ways to embrace it. But before we wrap up, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on how this movement is impacting the fitness industry as a whole.
Yeah, I think we're starting to see some real changes in how fitness is being marketed and perceived.
Like how?
Well, more and more brands are embracing diversity and inclusivity in their advertising and messaging.
So, like using models of different sizes and shapes in their campaigns.
Exactly. And it's not just about representation. It's also about promoting a wider range of activities and fitness goals. We're starting to see a move away from that traditional emphasis on weight loss and aesthetics
Yeah.
and towards a more holistic approach to fitness that encompasses physical, mental, and emotional well-being.
So it's less about achieving a certain look and more about feeling good, moving your body in a way that you enjoy, and celebrating what your body can do.
Yes, exactly. It's about finding what works for you and honoring your own unique journey.
That's awesome.
We're also seeing an increase in the availability of adaptive fitness programs and equipment designed to accommodate people with disabilities,
Oh, wow.
which is huge.
Mm.
It's a big step towards creating a more inclusive and accessible fitness environment for everybody.
I love to hear that. It sounds like the fitness industry is finally starting to catch up with the body positivity movement.
It's definitely a work in progress, but I think
Yeah.
the progress is encouraging.
Right.
We're moving towards a future where fitness is truly accessible and empowering for all bodies.
It's definitely an exciting time to be part of this movement. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground today. Before we wrap up our deep dive into body positivity and fitness, I'd love to hear your final thoughts for our listener.
I think the biggest takeaway here is that body positivity, it's about way more than just, feeling good about yourself.
It's like reclaiming our power in a way.
Yeah, exactly. Like rejecting those totally unrealistic beauty standards that society kind of like shoves down our throats all the time and like defining beauty for ourselves.
And celebrating all the amazing different ways our bodies can look.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Everybody's unique and it's beautiful in its own way.
Okay, so for someone who's maybe like just starting their body positivity journey, what would be like one piece of advice you'd give them?
That's a good question. I think the biggest thing is to be patient.
Yeah, you're not going to just wake up one day and love everything about yourself, right? It takes time. It's a process. It's unlearning all those years of being told we're not good enough and, those negative thoughts we have about ourselves.
It's like breaking free from those old patterns.
Yeah, exactly. And some days will be easier than others. Some days you'll feel amazing and confident, and other days you'll struggle. And that's totally normal.
It's like anything else worth doing.
Mhm.
It takes time and effort.
And don't forget to celebrate all the progress you make along the way.
Yeah, those little wins can feel huge.
For sure. Like maybe you wore an outfit today that made you feel really good, or you challenged a negative thought, or you moved your body and it felt amazing. Those are all things worth celebrating.
And I think it's important to remember you're not alone in this.
Absolutely. There's a whole community of people out there who are embracing body positivity and saying no to those crazy beauty standards. Connect with those people, share what you're going through, support each other.
And there are so many resources out there too. Like we mentioned those organizations earlier, but there are also online communities and tons of stuff online. Social media can be great for finding inspiration and connecting with people, but just be careful about who you follow.
Right. Make sure they're sending out positive messages.
Yeah, exactly. You want to surround yourself with accounts that make you feel good about yourself, not worse.
It's like a digital detox for your self-esteem.
Exactly. And speaking of detoxing, it's important to pay attention to the messages you're getting from the media and advertising. Those industries want us to feel insecure, so we'll buy their stuff.
They're always trying to create a problem so they can sell us the solution.
Right. So be critical of what you're seeing and hearing. And remember, those images are often like super edited and not real at all.
They're definitely not real life. Don't let them tell you what beauty is supposed to look like.
Exactly. You get to decide what beauty means to you.
Yeah.
And another important thing, don't be afraid to speak up.
Yeah, if you see something that's not right, say something.
Exactly. Whether it's someone making a comment that's not cool or a brand promoting unrealistic beauty standards, use your voice to advocate for inclusivity and body positivity.
We can make a difference if we all speak up.
Exactly. Our voices matter.
Uh,
So as we wrap up this deep dive into body positivity and fitness, I want to leave you with this thought. Your body is amazing, just the way it is.
Yeah, it can do so many amazing things.
Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Embrace your own unique beauty. Celebrate your strengths. Move your body in a way that feels good to you.
That's such a great message. I love that. Thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing all these insights. It's been such an empowering conversation.
My pleasure. I've really enjoyed it.
And for our listeners, if you want to learn more about health and wellness, be sure to check out Genetic Nutrition's website. They have tons of great resources, including that article that sparked today's discussion.
And remember, keep challenging those norms, keep celebrating your body, and keep shining your light.
We'll see you on the next deep dive.